Hey guys, Spooks here. Today I'm going to be just responding kind of to a Quenched video on whether the world record can be broken again. And he seems to think it can be. I do as well, but he thinks he's got higher aspirations for it than me. He thinks that maybe 200, well not, he said a little bit less than 200, maybe 180, something like that could be achieved. And for a while me and Eagle have been speculating, like we'll sit up talking about like what could happen. We could be speculating, oh, you could get 40 kills this round, 40 kills next round, then eventually you get 170 kills. The highest that honestly we've came to a conclusion that we think we can get infection is 170 kills, and this is going to be why. Okay, so Quenched believes that the highest possible score back then was 200 kills, but I think what he's not taken into account is that we didn't have alpha zombies back then. So naturally we weren't as good, kind of thing. We would play and we'll be getting screwed over by camo quite often. We'll be playing dead rounds quite often. We wouldn't want to play as much as we do now because alpha zombies wasn't a thing. And obviously alpha zombies is in the easier game mode, so that motivates you to play more, and you obviously pick up more skills playing that. But when you're playing infection, you kind of just repeat the same thing over and over. And honestly, I don't think 200 kills was possible back then. I think the highest kills we possibly could have got was about 130, which has been achieved now since. But that's because we just couldn't do any better. Like 99 kills was held as a world record for a good 6 months or so before anybody came close. He also believes that nowadays we can still beat that. I think that we can get higher score now than what we could back then. He says that the smaller pool and there's better players. That is true, but the better players mean that they're going to push you more often. You won't have as many dead rounds as well, so there's different variables that you've got to consider. I think the pool is smaller, but it depends what time of day you search, and depends the kind of lobbies you match, because sometimes you can match clean lobbies of just randoms that you can farm, and then other times you match like 6 sweats that you don't want to deal with. Quenched also believes that there's a lack of tier 1 sweats. Now I do have to agree with this one like massively, because honestly I don't think I'm capable of getting the world record at this point. I'm not playing well enough, and I think the only people that are capable are Eagle, Rocky, Snuggly and Jerks. Now obviously with Snuggly quitting, and with Rocky not playing as much as well as, and either as Jerks, Eagle at the moment is the only person that's standing out that can do it. I know Rocky still does play, but I don't know. It just depends on the kind of lobbies you get, because Eagle's mainly playing solo and trying to get nares rather than going for the world record at the moment. So it can be beat, but there's a very small amount of people that can beat it. I'm not saying that nobody else can beat it, it's just that right now they're the 4 main people that are most likely to beat it. I feel like a few people can step up and become good enough to do that. I feel like I have potential to get close and maybe beat it by a couple kills, but I have to really up my game to do that. Raging makes the point that most of the players are in the UK. The tier 1 sweats are in the UK, which is true because the top 4 are currently UK players. But he thinks that we have bad connection. Now this is true. I was playing earlier today, and right now it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I was playing a couple hours ago and I was getting bull lag and bad connection. Last night I was playing at 1 and 2 or stuff like that in the morning AM, and I was getting bull lag every death. Now I'm dealing with really crap connection. Eagle also deals with this connection. The difference is he can withstand it and overcome it, whereas I can't at the moment. That's why, if you've noticed, he's matching cleaner lobbies at night time, but he's dealing with bad connection. If you watch 123 kills, he hit that at 2 AM in the morning, and yesterday hit 104 at about 2 AM in the morning. He doesn't hit anything above like 80 during the day, but at night he can easily break 80 and 90 and 100. It's at night time, but because the lobbies are cleaner, like Raging says, the lobbies are cleaner, but we have to deal with the connection being not an issue. He also mentioned how when we're playing during the day we match each other. That is true. I was playing yesterday and I matched Eagle because we don't play together anymore because he's playing on his Smurf. Well, it's not a Smurf, his second account. So we do match each other and we have to deal with that. So over and over I'd match Rocky in a day, I'd match Snuggly when he was playing, I'd match Jerks, I'd match Eagle, I'd match all these different kind of people that would make it impossible to kind of break a high score game because they also get kills and also don't get like they steal last mans and whatever. Something that Raging thinks that I disagree with is that the quitting players would be a massive issue. I say in most world records only 2 or 3 people have quit. That makes it more manageable, honestly. If you're playing solo and you're playing against 11 people, how many times have you got last man and you've died because that one extra person swarms you? If that person leaves the game, it makes it far more easier to get higher kills and survive for longer and get more kills. I can see his point where so many people leave, you don't get as many kills, but that's only if 5 or 6 could leave. If it's just 3 or 4, well, not 3 or 4, 2 or 3 leave, then we should be fine. Okay, so at this moment in time, I do believe the record can be broken. 131 kills is not what the potential could be. I believe we can reach up to 150 and 60 kills, like he has said. Back in the day, we thought 170, but we were just over our heads. I feel like 150, 160 is the highest we can probably get. That's because lobbies, you don't get everything perfectly going in your way. You always have like a dead round, or you get one round ruined from something, or you get a zombie that you don't need a regular infection, stuff like that. There are so many variables that you have to take into consideration when you're doing this, and that's what makes it hard to predict what the highest score can be. But personally, between me and Eagle, we've thought that 150, 160 can be possible. And whether that's in infection or alphas doesn't matter, because alphas has shown potential to get 140 kills, and so has infection as well. And in Eagle's 1-2-1 kills, he could potentially have got 160 kills in that game, but he got screwed up from that, what was it, ghost melee. And then in Jerks' 129, he had a round that was dead. If he didn't have that dead round, he could have easily got 140, 150, 160 kills. So either game mode can get you to that if you can play it properly. So I believe that both game modes can be equally as good, but you just have to get this certain amount of luck. Because skill is important, but you have to be really lucky to get these kind of lobbies and to be able to do something with them. One final thing that Raging mentioned in his video is that 80 kills could be possible in a round. Now, I don't think this is possible, because if you go back to Eagle's 149 kill gameplay that was boosted on the crypt, that was full of 10 people, well, about 6 or 7 people actually running straight at him, constantly feeding him over and over, and he only managed to get a 70 kill round. And he used that entire round. He had 2 minutes 20 or something of last man. It's very unlikely you'll get more last man than that in a round, and it's very, very unlikely you'll get a stronger feed than that. I honestly think that the highest amount of kills you can get in a round is 65. Right now, I think the highest that has been gotten is 59. So I don't think getting 80 in a round is possible, but you never know, honestly, because there are far too many variables you have to take into consideration. In conclusion, I do believe the record can be broken, but we'll have to wait and see. I don't believe I can do it myself. I believe the person that will probably beat it will be Eagle, because right now he's still grinding the game. That's what I take from it. But anyway, it's been your boy Spooks, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'd like to know what everybody else thinks about this, because obviously not me and Eagle aren't always right about everything. But yeah, hope you enjoyed. It's been your boy Spooks, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye.